We cannot talk enough about Lucy McGonigle.
15-year-old out of CrossFit Enable in Belfast.
Lucy, an unofficial back-to-back championship in an age group where you're a year young.
Leave here tomorrow with a couple of goals. Moving a little bit better, a little bit of understanding on how to coach other people, and you understand more about the methodology.
I want to coach, and I feel like I need to learn a wee bit more before I start coaching.
So what are you hoping to get out of it then?
Just more knowledge on information and coaching cues, and just to be able to know I have the knowledge to be able to help people and not just blabber about stuff and actually know what I'm talking about.
And inevitably, when you first start doing CrossFit, all you talk about is CrossFit, right? And people get bored of it. Have you ever been asked the question, well, what is it you do in the gym? Yeah. How do you explain that? Go for it, Laura. A little bit of everything, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Cardio, a bit of gymnastics, a bit of weightlifting. Back in the day when I first started delivering these lectures, like people used to term triathletes, or more the endurance athletes, kind of like as the fittest, and kind of like they would be the definition of fitness, whereas with CrossFit, we want to be a blend of everything like you just described, right? And we've actually, we differentiate ourselves in CrossFit from other strength and conditioning programs because we clearly define our terms. So the actual definition of CrossFit, you might have read it in the manual hopefully, is constantly varied, functional movements executed at high intensity. Now I've split it up like that because really if we need to understand that sentence, we need to break down and understand those three parts. We need to understand what constantly varied is, we need to understand and define functional movements, and we need to understand and define intensity as well, okay? And there's no better place to start than with functional movements, because that's what we do in the gym every day. And again, only by making her move slowly and watching that 1 pound performance, you can see it.
Yeah.
Awesome job. Well done, buddy. Awesome job. How are we doing over here?
Well, Rob obviously knows a lot more than I do about anything, so I feel like not taking his information on would just be stupid for me. But no, it's so good, and it's so good the amount of knowledge and stuff that they know, and it's also good to understand the history and background of how CrossFit started, and like just the different theories of the proof of how CrossFit works, instead of just thinking, oh, I'm going to the gym, getting fit and leaving. You actually understand the method behind why that happens as well.
So nobody can argue with the data. I've gotten fitter, I've elicited more power. That's really important, and working out intensity is important. Power is defined as or equal to intensity because intensity drives results. It drives adaptation. And anybody can work out intensity, we just need to make it relative to the individual. And we make it relative through scaling. Cool? If we want this fitness, this level of competency where we can do the known and the unknowable, that means that we need to constantly vary everything we do in the gym.
I feel like CrossFit as a sport and CrossFit as like just in the affiliates and all is so different. And that's why you've got to go back, because I do feel like because I've been competing for so long, I have forgotten about some of the stuff that we've got learnt in there, and it's always good to go back to the basics. I mean, like, you're never too good for them. Like, I was bloody struggling to do the cupping pull-ups in there yesterday.
All right, it's day 2, so that's 2 claps on 3. 1, 2, 3. Awesome job. But today we're going to look more into the coaching side of it, and you're going to start coaching each other one-on-one through the workout. From there, we'll come back in, we'll go through nutrition with me, and then we'll break for lunch. So we'll teach you about good nutritional protocols, and then we'll send you away for lunch, and we will be judging you. No, I'm joking. From there, you'll come back in after lunch. We'll kick off then with the GHD. Dave will take us through that, and I'll be the demo. And then we're going to be moving for a little bit. We're going to cover the ring muscle up, strict ring muscle up progressions. We'll cover the snatch, and then we'll come back in for a programming lecture with me, and that's quite a cool lecture, because we're going to review all the different concepts that we've covered this weekend. So any questions, we can clear them up right there. And then we'll just prepare ready for the test.
I didn't think I'd ever want to coach, to be honest. But as, like, over the past probably couple of years, I've kind of been like more open to it. Probably the last year, I've kind of like thought, oh, I might, because I like giving people wee tips in the gym and stuff. But before, I just never could honestly, never really interested me, but now it does. I coach my dad a wee bit and give him like little tips on stuff, and then like even if he like takes one bit on board and comes home and say, oh, that really helped, like it's fulfilling, it makes you feel good, and it helps people, which is always good. Yeah, I find it hard.
It's really hard, really?
Yeah, I know, I think I need some more practice, but I'll get there.
It's hard saying to someone, no, you're not doing it right.
I know, I don't like that. Especially because you want to make sure what you're saying is right as well, so you've got to double check it. But yeah, it's difficult.
Like everything's harder with a PVC pipe.
Oh my god, see, like the amount of squats and like the squat with your hands up and all, that was bloody hard. But I feel like you can't hold yourself back, because especially if you're going to coach people, like you're hoping they're going to be given 100%, so if you don't do it, then you're not really practicing what you're preaching, and that's, I feel like you need to be a good coach.
Lovely. Nice. Go to 2. Hell yeah.
That wasn't as bad. I'm still doing it right though.
Tight, tight, tight. Yeah. Nice one. You good? Easy. Go. Pull. Head transition. Oh. Good job. No, have a rest and come back to it, right?